Hello. Now, I'm going to do a two-part series on these. So we're going to start off with the teams that didn't make the eight. So here we are. So here we are. We get rid of these ads. So I've got not a bad year. Plenty of work to do. Okay, average. Wish it was 2022 and poor. So these are obviously not in order. So Bulldogs, I'm going to say not a bad year. Obviously some by experts and even other people thought that they were, not going to have a great year. And I knew they weren't going to make the top eight. They were in there for about, 24 hours until, not even 24 hours, 18 hours or something like that, after the Cats game. And then GWS won and knocked them out. So they've had a good year, plenty of upside. So they had some good wins. They had a good win against Richmond at MCG, Geelong round 24 at GMHBA. They beat 3-0 by 50 points, nearly 49 to be exact. So they've had some really good wins, and it'd be interesting to see if Bailey Smith plays on. Obviously they really want him, and he's still under contract for another year or two. So it's going to be interesting how it plays out, but I can see him staying, that's for sure. Or playing at Hawthorn or where with the club he grew up supporting. But at the same time, I feel like he's going to be a Bulldog, and they're going to be a serious threat next year if they bring in a few more bigs and develop some younger players. So looking forward to seeing how they go next year and their draft and also the trade period. So that's why I have got them in not a bad year. Alright, so plenty of work to do. Now, alright, so not a bad year. I'm going to go Adelaide as well. Adelaide had a great year. They almost made it to the finals, except for that little hiccup that they had at the Adelaide Oval where Swans won. They would have been in the eight, and I wouldn't have to talk about them. But here we are. It is what it is. They had a great year, and Isaac Ranking, what a gun. There's so many other players that I can't really think of at the top of my head, but, they've had a great year. Jordan Dawson, great leader of the club. Oi! So yeah, looking forward to seeing what they can do in the draft and the trade period. And yeah, bring on 2024. So plenty of work to do. Now this is I'm going to go okay. It was an okay season for Essendon, I feel. Obviously plenty of work to do, but I'm just going to say okay for now. I could probably swap it around, but I can't be bothered. So yeah, they've had some upside. They've got a new coach, new system, and they're making a lot of changes, and they've just re-signed Darcy Parish, so that's pretty good for them. They just need Peter Wright to have his 2022 season. He was injured all of the time, so obviously he couldn't really get out on the park as much as he'd like, but a big pre-season for Essendon, and we'll see how we go for that. Looking forward to see what they can do in the draft and trade period. Don't know why I always keep saying draft at first. Anyways, so we are going to go Richmond. Plenty of work to do. Obviously, they've got a lot of their older players out. They've had a few retirees this year. I think they've had 4 or 5. I know there's about 2 or 3 I can think of that retired before even the season started. So obviously they're going to have to do a rebuild, maybe a slight rebuild, because Richmond are a powerhouse club. So it's not going to take long for them. Really good solid season from Tim Taranto. Taranto? Yeah, it is. He had a great year. Should have been All-Australian or even in the squad, to be honest. But, Dusty had a pretty good year as well, making the All-Australian as well. And, yeah, so they just need some quality backs this year in the trade, or even go to the draft and pick up some pieces as well. So they've had a pretty good year, but plenty of work to do. Alright, so we're going to go average year. Gold Coast, I really thought this would be the year that they'd almost contend for a premiership or even top 8, but they were very, very average. They had some good wins though. They had some good wins against Geelong, and they had a really good win against, who was it? I can't remember. Brisbane. Yes, it was. Brisbane. So they've had some quality, pieces and stuff, but they've got a really, really good coach in Dimmer. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go in the trade period. Will they pick up dust? Could they do this? Could they do that? And how's the system going to go? And are they going to keep Ben King for the next 5-6 years? Or are they just going to trade him? Or he goes to walks to free agency? Who knows? But I'm really looking forward to seeing how this decade goes for the Gold Coast. Because I feel like if they don't contend for a premiership or even top 8 next 8 years, 9 years, then they're probably going to fold. That's a big call, but still. So here we go. Next one is, here we go. So we've got Geelong in, wish it was 2022. I could put them in poor, but I won't. We've had a lot of injuries, unfortunately, but so has Carlton, but they've got so much depth. Geelong, we've had, we just have not been healthy at all, and we haven't been good enough. So I'm glad we did lose against the Doggies, because if we finished ninth, that wouldn't have sit right with me, because we don't deserve, to finish that high. We finished where we deserved, and putting Paddy Dangerfield maybe wasn't a great idea as captain. Could have been Tom Stewart or Cam Guthrie, but Cam Guthrie didn't even play a game for the rest of the year. I think he played 2 games-ish, or 3. But so looking forward to see how we go. Tom Hawkins will be back. Wish it was 2022, and I'm going to go with Fremantle too. Obviously, they had a really good year last year, and things just didn't happen for them this year. They had a really good win against Geelong, but at the same time, it's not hard these days. Fremantle, I thought they were going to make, nearly top 4. I knew they were going to make finals, but I just didn't know where. So, obviously, to finish down low, I think they finished 14th or something like that. So, that's just pretty poor year for them, and it's going to be interesting to see how they go with this trade period coming up in draft, and see if they draft some young talent from WA, and maybe they could get a few stars. And I think maybe Sam Menegola could be going back to Fremantle. He was delisted by Freo and picked up again. I think he was drafted by Freo in the rookie draft. Can't remember. Back in 2011. So, they've got some really young core that are coming through, but let's see how good they will be next year. Looking forward to seeing how they go. So now, I'm not even going to really... I'm going to put Hawthorn in... I'm not going to say poor for Hawthorn. I'm going to say I'm going to put him in average. Yes, I'm going to put Hawthorn in average. Now, alright, we're back. Doggo was barking outside, so that's why she's in, and I'll make sure... so Hawthorn, even though they finished below Geelong and Fremantle, I thought they had it's weird to say, but I thought they had a little bit of a better year than, because obviously Geelong and Fremantle were expected to make top 8. So that's the reason why I put them in average, because I actually thought they had a really good year. And they had ups and downs, but I felt like a lot of pieces that went right. I don't know if that's weird to say. Let me know your thoughts below in that opinion. But Hawthorn, they've got a lot of young talent, and it's going to be very interesting to see. James Worpel came back and he was pretty decent. James Sisley, absolutely gun. There's nothing more you can say about that. And then, so Hawthorn are going to be interesting this trade period, because they could be after Sava Radicalier, and there's been reports for up to $5 million or something like that. But honestly, I don't think they will be offering a Sava Radicalier $5 million. It's probably more 750 to 800k. So alright, so we got Eagles and North Melbourne at poor. Now Eagles, they haven't really been healthy since 2019, so it's hard to say, and all of their players and stuff are getting a lot older, especially all their veterans. So maybe if they get rid of them and some of them retire, which they have, maybe that's a really, really good thing, and they can progress with a lot of young talent. And obviously they don't have to be good early days, but I feel like they can contend for a flag in the next, 7 years. We'll say that. North Melbourne, they brought in Alistair Clarkson, and they almost pretty much got worse. I don't know. And they're losing a few good players like Ben Cunnington. Ben Cunnington's retiring. I was thinking of Ben Mackay. So Mackay, I don't know how to pronounce it. Mackay, same thing. And so maybe they could get pick number 2. No, they've got pick number 3 in compensation or something like that. I don't really know how that works properly yet, but I feel like that could be a good thing, because he has quite a few goals, and they've got a lot of good talent coming through, which is weird to say because they haven't been very good. And they've finally won after 20 weeks. So this is just a video that I thought of. My English isn't the best in this. I'm pretty tired. I don't know why. But so this is my opinion. Now, let me know in the comments below what you think. And so hopefully this video goes okay. Anyways, thanks for watching. As always, peace. That was a shit video.